Hello again, I am Jim Bob and welcome back to F1 Manager 23 on the PS5. We're heading back stateside for the Las Vegas Grand Prix. So a brand new circuit, first time ever that we'll be heading to Las Vegas. This should be fun. Not really sure how a long race distance is going to run on this. The only experience I've got on this was doing the Haas challenge, the Viva Haas Vegas premium scenario from the pre-orders, and doing this race once on the PS4 with an all-conquering Red Bull. So I really don't know how this race is going to go with a car that's not, comfortably ahead of everybody else. We'll have to see how back and forth the overtaking is going to be. That long straight at the bottom of the circuit, leading round to the start-finish straight, down the strip. It is a very, very long DRS straight there. It's flat the whole way, so it could be very interesting. It could be just a case of taking a position and then losing it again the following lap, and then taking it back and then losing it. And we'll have to see. I'm not really sure how that's going to go. But we've got all of our stuff prepped from last night. Just a quick recap. We are in second place ahead of Ferrari, and a good result here will clinch second place for us in the Constructors. But more importantly, we are just 21 points behind Max Verstappen, with a maximum of 52 points available for the remaining two races. It's going to be very, very tight. Can we take this down to the wire? And the bitterest of irony is if we were to win this under a safety car at Abu Dhabi. That would be glorious. That would be so funny. But yeah, let's have a quick look and see how our car's stacking up going into this Grand Prix. First of all, let's say hello to Toby, Victor, Bakir, Mr. Water. Good to see you guys. Right, car analysis. Let's just check which car is the quicker. I think it's going to be Lewis's car, isn't it? Slightly faster. There we go. So let's have a look at Ferrari in this race. So Ferrari are about half a kilometre an hour faster than us, with a slightly better acceleration, although we do have the best DRS. Their low speed is very good, but we have the advantage everywhere else. It'll be an interesting fight with Ferrari. Don't forget, both Ferraris have new engines. Let's take a look at Red Bull. So, let's just double check which car is the faster of the two. It is Max, as expected. Only just, but there is a subtle difference between the two cars. Yeah, the Red Bull is only just faster than us, very slightly, as you can see. There's just like 0.04 kilometers per hour. That's good. We've really reeled them back in. They do have a big acceleration advantage over us. They've got the best acceleration on the grid, with a lot of slow speed corners around the middle. That could be a bit tricky for us. Looking at the low speed, we do have the advantage there, and the medium speed. That is definitely going to be important for us. High speed's pretty close. It's not a massive difference there. Again, their brake cooling is very, very good. That should help stop them from locking up. But yeah, this is going to be another interesting race, and I really hope we can take it to Max in this race. We need a really strong result here, because our engines are now at the point where they are below the power loss threshold. So every meter of track that they're being used, they're going to get worse. They're going to lose power. They're going to degrade further. Yeah. Right, let's set our targets. And as I say, I don't really know how this race is going to go for us. So let's see. The incentive is 2 in the top 4 for qualifying. We've got a good chance of that, I think, actually, given that we've now been able to put Russell's car back together again a little bit. We'll get both into Q3, we'll get both into Q2, so we can maximise our sponsor rewards there. The finish position, 1 in the top 4, that's the incentive. We'll go for the fastest lap, we'll see if we can claim that. We've got a brand new finish streak to start, that's 2 in the top 6 for the next 2 Grand Prix, the remaining 2 Grand Prix. And then just 2 in the top 10 for the next 2 races. We'll finish that streak off as well. So, yeah, there we go. Let's head to Vegas.
Welcome to the Silver State of Nevada for the Las Vegas Grand Prix. The track here is a high-speed street circuit that takes in the lights and the sights of this spectacular Sin City. Drivers will take on over a mile of the Las Vegas Strip, racing flat out past all the glamour and glitz it has to offer. Formula One's highest speed street circuit promises incredible action up and down the Las Vegas Strip. Racing at night means track temperatures will be lower, so data from Free Practice 2 could be crucial to managing both qualifying and the Grand Prix. Lewis Hamilton marked the previous race with yet another win and proved that he still has the tenacity to succeed in this sport. Okay then, let's get to it.
The landscape really does look impressive on those big wide angle shots there, but it's just such a shame that we barely see any of it when we're down in the car because of the big heavy barriers all around the track. They block out a lot of the sights, make it very tricky to actually see anything there. Bit of a shame. How you doing, Sasha? Welcome to the stream. Right, setup. Let's start by swapping out our engines, putting in the practice stuff. Okay, so my run plan for Vegas, I think, is going to be 16 laps. We're going to go with a 1, a 10.5, a 1.9, a 2.95, and a 0.65 for this car. It is a very low downforce circuit. There is a little bit of twisty turny stuff, but it's all very low speed and obviously some very long fast straights, so you do need that lack of downforce. Make the car as slippy as possible. Okay, 16 laps again. Driving options, drop that down, and let's put Lewis's setup on now. We're going to go 0.5 on the front this time, 10.5, 1.9, 3.2, and 1. There we go. Right. I was considering putting Mick in the car, but I just don't want to risk a crash. And I know that sounds bad. It's not that I have less faith in Mick. Well, I suppose I do have a little bit less faith in Mick than George. But it's also because his pace is a little bit lower and his racecraft is a little bit lower, there's every chance that he's more vulnerable, more susceptible to being collected by somebody else in practice, and I just can't risk breaking parts unnecessarily. So we're not going to put him in, and because I've said that, I'm almost certain that George or Lewis is going to put it in the wall, just to spite me. We shall see. Let's send them to the track. So as always, we are going to start with a lap in helmet cam, and tonight we'll be riding with Russell Vision.
Radio check. Radio's loud and clear. So radio check. Radio's loud and clear, Lewis. Avoid all curbs. Avoid all curbs.
Yep.
And there we go, there is a lap of Vegas. Now, there are a couple of interesting things to note about this circuit. I'm just going to switch to Lewis for a second. This is where the circuit leaves the real streets of Vegas, and then this bit here onto the start-finish straight, and then this little loop around before hitting this corner. Now they've rejoined the real streets of Vegas. The little block that we went around there, around the start-finish complex, was a plot of land specifically purchased to build and house the paddock features and obviously the start-finish straight. So that is the only permanent part of the circuit, with the potential for, I'm not sure, this section here, I think this again might be a little plot of land that was purchased. You can see here we're definitely on real streets again. You know, the markings have been removed, but the whole start-finish complex, they bought a plot of land specifically to house the start-finish straight, the pit lane, the paddock facilities, everything there, and that's the only permanent part that I know of the circuit. The rest is obviously streets that have been repurposed for the Grand Prix, barriers put up along the sides, and then obviously they're taken down as soon as the Grand Prix is over. It's kind of interesting to note that they have that permanent facility built there in the middle of Vegas. It's only going to be used once a year. I doubt we'll see many other, well, we might see some other Vegas events, you know, with different racing formulas, but I don't know of any others that have signed up for that yet. Evening Rory, evening Farah. Good to see you guys. Right, let's speed everyone up. It does look as though maybe those streets where Hulkenberg's just going through are also genuine. Or at least they've cut inside a little bit. within that area. But yeah, that whole plot of land around the start-finish complex, that grid, as you can see, that is a custom plot that was, you know, bought specifically to house all that facility.
Check when you can.
Right, let's see how our setups are looking. 95 for Lewis, that's a good solid start there. Let's see what George comes back with. 94, very nice.
Copy.
George is happy. Very good job, guys. There's George. Farah is all tucked in, ready for another Lewis Lovathon. Good to know, Farah, that you're sitting there in your Hamilton PJs. Right, I only have the two setups. I don't really know which is going to be the best. Let me see, actually. If we just go back to the default, so 110.519. Let me try switching them over, just out of curiosity. Yeah, that's not going to work. I didn't think it would. So let's just revert that back. There we go. Let's go with a 0.5. Let's try that. Alright, so we'll increase that to a 1. And you know what, I'm just going to do that. Take a quick gander as well at the components of the grid that is being used. So we've got a penalty for Perez, penalty for Stroll, penalty for Gasly, Bottas and Lando as well, Lando Norris. Interesting. Let's just slow time down so we've got a little bit of time to have a little gander. Who is using what? So, yeah, Leclerc's engine's still pretty strong, but his gearbox is about to break. Well, it's about to get a little damaged. His ERS is already damaged. That might take him out of the equation a little bit in this Grand Prix. Let's take a look at Sainz. Wow, Sainz used his engine really hard in the last race if he's down to 85% already. 37%, his gearbox is already on its way out. His ERS is fine. Max is not using a new engine. Oh, that's encouraging. Perez is running a new gearbox and a new ERS, but is not running a new engine. They must not have the funds then to be able to buy new engines for the two Red Bulls if they're if they're buying everything but for Perez. Gasly's got a brand new engine. That's what his penalty's for. Stroll's running a new ERS, but his engine's knackered. And Alonso's gearbox is on its way out. Okay. We might actually be in with a solid chance of another win. Of course, this is an unknown, really. We haven't really done that much in the way of racing. I did have a safety car on my PS4 playthrough, but the car was so dominant that
Copy that.
it was an easy win.
Give us a balance check when you can.
We do not have a dominant car here. We have a good car. It's not the best. Right. Oh, we made Lewis's car worse.
Say what you'd like on the balance.
And we made George's worse as well. Okay, a little bit of tinkering to do then. So we broke the rear wing. Let's fix that by going back to a 0.5. So that's the setup that we just came off of. Everything else went down as well, so let's move everything in the opposite direction this time. If we can. Oh, we can't. At least we can if we do it that way. Maybe. It can't be a 0, surely not. There we go. Yeah, we'll go with that. We'll see how that goes. And again, we went the wrong way there. I'm gonna go back to a 1. I don't know if that's enough. It's got to be a 1.5 then. Just worried about the rear wing angle. Let's try that in the next session. There we go then. The session is done. Let's go 24 laps. Just make sure the parts that we've got fitted can make it through the session. ERS is getting a bit low, but should be fine. a little bit clunky the way they exit the pit lane. Again, I think it might just be a case of the AI needs a little bit more training on this circuit. I expect it'll be a little bit smoother, a little bit better next season. The next game.
And avoid all curbs. Avoid all curbs.
See these shots, we do get some really nice kind of glimpses of some of the casinos and stuff on the strip, but those barriers do obscure quite a lot of detail, especially when you're running like this.
Are all the tyres on? Something doesn't feel right.
No, George, we sent you out with just 3 wheels.
Stop it.
The Las Vegas Grand Prix brought to you by Amazon Web Services, it would seem. Just AWS billboards everywhere. Right. Hopefully we'll nail the setups this time around. Do I watch wrestling? I used to. Every now and then, if there's a really good match, I will try and hunt it out on YouTube, but yeah, for the most part, I don't watch it anymore.
Let us know what your thoughts are.
All right, 97%. That's an improvement. It's not quite there. 92 for George. Still work needed.
That was better.
There you go.
Is there damage on the back of my car?
Okay, copy. We're looking.
Power's dropping now.
That's enough running. Let's call them in. Just have a look at what tweaks we need to make. Oh, it's... Don't tell me it's going to be a 0. It must be, because we tried a 0.5 and that just was not enough. Okay, interesting. Alright, let's go with that. Okay, and for Lewis. Alright, we'll try that. We have a VSC. Someone put it in the wall. Yeah, I think a Williams did. Down at the end of the long straight. Oh, Hulkenberg's crashed. Oh, what a surprise. Is it going to give us a replay? No, it's not. I just need to run out the clock now. Not going back out in this session. One thing I would like to see them add is the ability to skip to the end of a session. You know, if you're happy with the running that you've done, you don't have to sit there and run out the remaining 20-30 minutes of the clock, depending on how long you've got left of the session. It would be nice to just go, you know, return to garage, done kind of thing. Maybe they'll add that in a future release. Trying to remember what tyre life is like on this circuit as well. For strategy, I think it'll be softs and mediums. I don't think we'll be using the hards. Yeah, the ERS is fine. Alright, send them out for the final session. PS Plus subscriptions getting a price increase in September. Yes, I saw that. $20 in the States, £10 for us. Not sure euros. So it'll be £60 a year from September. And I thought about it, I thought, oh, God, another price rise. It's only a couple of years since they put it up last time. But thinking about it, it's still not bad value. It works out at £3 a month. It's $49.99 at the moment for Essential, which is the base tier, and that's going up to $59.99. I would imagine that the other levels are also going up as well. But I don't know about that. I didn't read that far because I don't have those tiers. You can handle an extra 10. Well, I don't know whether it's only a £10 on extra and premium. It's £10 on essential. That's all I know. It might be a bit more for the higher tiers. I'm actually quite surprised that it's only a £10 increase over here, considering it's going up by $20 in the States.
Give us a balance check.
Alright, there we go. 100% for George, 97 for Lewis. Maybe it is going to be a 0 then. On the front wing. Because that's what we put on Russell's car. I don't think I've ever run a car with a 0 setup. Or a 0 front wing setup before. So, let's add this to the book. Zero point zero. 10.519. 3.05 and 0.6. It is going to be a 0. Okay. Let's make those tweaks. We'll just have to trust that we haven't broken the car going into quali, because we're not going to run Hamilton again. So this is one of those situations where, as I say, it'd be nice to have a skip button, because now we've got to wait another 20 minutes of the session. Are existing members covered? Yes. It's not, you know, your subscriptions will run at the current value that they're at until that plan that you're on expires. So you're covered until what, June. I'm covered until November next year, but you can stack as well, so you can go ahead and add in an extra year or two at the lower price before September and add it onto your existing subscription term. And obviously that will stack at the same price that it's at now. But then any subsequent membership purchases that you make after that will be at the new rates from September 6th onwards. They haven't given us a lot of notice. They've given us a week's notice, which is a bit unusual. Normally they make announcements like that, give you a month or at least a fortnight. Giving us a week. Maybe that's because when they put the price up last time, or when they announced the when they put the price up last time, I think of or was it when they announced extra and premium? I'm pretty sure it's they put the price up from 40 to 50. They let people stack memberships, and people just went out and bought a ton of membership cards and got the cheaper rates by stacking multiple years. Maybe they're trying to avoid people doing that again by giving less notice.
There's tension in the air today, so it must be time for qualifying.
Qualifying is when F1's most glamorous street circuit really comes into its own, with cars on full throttle down a huge section of the Las Vegas Strip. Getting tyres into the optimal temperature range will be crucial to setting a good time here.
In terms of George Russell and his form, Karun, how's he going to be feeling, do you imagine?
It's interesting because they weren't that fast in practice. I'm not sure if this was a lack of pace or just the team trying different things, but I imagine we'll see their true performance soon enough.
And with that, let's get back onto the track.
Alright, we didn't look at it before, so let's have a look at it now. There is the circuit laid out by corner type. So a couple of low speed corners, as you can see, some medium speed corners, and quite a few high speed corners as well. We're good in the low and the medium, not quite so good in the high. Thankfully, the low speed are always the important traction zones, and that's where we're very good. So yeah, it'll be quite nice, I think, for our car, especially seeing as we're seeing a lack of new engines for the rest of the grid. Let's take out our old engines, put in the best bits that we have. There we go. And let's send them to the grid for qualifying. And let's get our guys out straight away. Get a time on the board.
Is that lap normal?
Yep.
Evening, Harmony.
We'll focus on the brakes a bit.
Come on.
I've noticed everyone else seems to call you Matter as opposed to Harmony. Which would you prefer? Would you rather I refer to you as Harmony or Matter?
circuit's all clear. Good to go.
It's Lewis Farrow, Lewis fan today.
You got a good gap ahead.
I don't think Farrow will
Good to go.
ever be a Lewis fan. And I am
Negative.
really kind of curious as to what will happen
Box,
if
and call the car.
he does actually manage to win the championship this season.
If we could just get that delta negative.
We may not see Farrow for a while.
Yeah, copy, all good.
So, 134.8. No idea how competitive that's going to be. We're holding a few people up as we make our way back to the garage. It'll be enough to get us through. Alonso with a 134.4. So definitely some time to find. I wonder if Alonso's time was with a slipstream. That could be really important for Q3. Evening, Daniel. We'll keep an eye out for that in the next session. See if anyone's trying to gain some slipstreams. We'll also do an experiment of our own. We'll send our guys out nose to tail. Do I think F1 Manager will come on Game Pass? No idea. I don't really pay attention to Xbox, so I couldn't tell you
Let's just focus on
what the likelihood of that is.
Understood.
Make up those rear brakes.
Copy.
Given it's an annual franchise, I would say probably not. Or at least not until the next version's out. Am I getting ready for next year's car? Yeah, we've done all the research we can. We've got no money left to do any more. They should add a My Team mode. It would be nice, but it's low in the list of priorities. There are other things I would like to see before that.
All clear ahead.
One thing I would like to see, I was thinking about this yesterday, one of the things I would like to see going forward would be alternate liveries. So again, it's tricky because of sponsorship rights, etc., and commercial rights, image rights. But it'd be nice if we could have alternate liveries for the cars. So, we're seeing so many custom liveries popping up. It didn't used to happen all that often, but now it happens multiple times a year. per car. We saw Williams with a special 75th, no, not 75. We saw a special Williams livery for Silverstone. Obviously, McLaren did their chrome livery for Silverstone. I think we saw a special livery at Monaco. Ferrari bringing out a special livery this weekend for Monza, as they did last year. A couple of years ago, Red Bull did the White Bull, which was supposed to go to Japan, and then obviously that race was cancelled due to COVID, so they ran it, I forget where they ran it, but they ran it somewhere else instead. We did not put in our drivers close enough to benefit for the slipstream here. It's a bit of a shame. .134.4, so that's on par with what Alonso did in the first session. Russell 6.5 tenths off. And I think Hamilton did get a bit of a tow at the end of the lap there from the Alpine in front, which is now on a hot lap. Or maybe it was the Red Bull, I don't know. Hard to tell because it's getting a bit messy. Oh, this is getting clunky. Let's get back to the garage. Just in case I need to run them again. It should be fine. What colour do I think Mercedes will be next year? Black. Will anyone challenge Red Bull next season? Hopefully. But yeah, going back to my earlier point, I'd like to see the ability to run some of those, one-off liveries that we see as an alternate livery. So that we can change up the appearance of our cars slightly after a few seasons, so they're not all running identical liveries all the time. That would be quite a nice little touch. A much more expanded roster of driver heads, so that some of the younger drivers coming through will actually be able to see them on the podium. That would be nice. Things like a warm-up lap would be nice to see as well. A bit more of an expansion in terms of commentary and variation in intros, things like that. Evening, Indo.
Be careful with the warm-up.
Understood.
We should do some work on the brakes.
Okay.
It looks like pretty much everyone's coming out straight away. I will be taking manual control of our drivers for a 2-lap run once we've got this initial banker lap out of the way. Again, George is not as close as I would like him to be.
It's all clear. Good to go.
All clear ahead. Good to go.
Oh, I've got traffic coming out the pits. Well, that's Russell's lap ruined. God damn it. Luckily though, it is a banker lap. So we're not wasting a set of tyres. We're using our scrub tyres from the last 2 sessions. Alright, so 134.4 is what we're looking for. That's a good starting time. 134.8. Yeah, that's not too bad considering the tyres are down 20% of their grip. And there's how badly Russell was held up by the Alpine there.
Currently P2. Yeah, we're happy with that.
Thanks, Ocon.
Yeah, we will box end of this lap.
Much appreciated. So, got 6 minutes left. It's going to be tight.
Is that lap normal?
Yep.
Out lap critical.
Coming.
Alright, there we go. So we've got both of our drivers very close this time. So the plan here is to run Lewis in front for the first lap, and then on the cool down lap swap them over and have George leading Lewis for the second fast lap. Russell might be a little bit too close this time. We'll see.
So happy to push now.
Copy.
Alright, there is a Ferrari on an outlap at sights. Hopefully he's not going to get in the way, but we're going to catch him at the twisty section. Oh, this is going to be close. Okay, that did hold us up just a little bit with both drivers. It'll be easier for Russell though, because he'll be able to get that slipstream to close right back up on the Hamilton again though.
Charge the pack.
Copy.
So now we'll switch him over. There's a gaggle of traffic in front. We are going to catch him before the end of the lap. But this is only a build-up lap, so hopefully it won't be too much of an issue. It's going to be really close actually as to whether or not we can make it round before we run out of time. We should just about make it.
Use the overtake.
Understood.
Pick up the pace.
Okay. Happy to start reducing that management.
Okay.
Push and hold, overtake.
Copy.
Okay, so this is not an ideal situation. This again will work nicely for Russell. I don't know about Lewis. He's tucked up behind. Is that Alonso who's tucked up behind? No, Alonso's tucked up behind Hamilton. So if Hamilton gets a benefit, it's only going to help Alonso. We didn't catch him quite as quickly as I thought we would. Let's see if we can get any improvements. Purple first sector for Russell. Russell's looking like he might try and overtake Sainz here. Improvement for Hamilton in the middle. The drive for the line. Who's going to get pole? Russell takes pole. Hamilton in fourth. Woo! What a hectic 5-car train that was at the end there. And with the penalty for Stroll and the penalty for Perez, that's going to drop them both down. But it's going to drop Stroll out of the way. It's going to put Lewis in P3 right behind George, with Alonso alongside George. Perez is going to drop back, and then there's all the other penalties as well. That's probably going to be back of the grid for Perez. He is running 2 new parts.
It's race day, and final preparations are underway.
Las Vegas is a super fast street circuit, and the long straight along the dazzling strip could be a tempting and yet challenging place to try and overtake. The weather is beautifully clear tonight, which is one less problem for the teams to face. Of course, that doesn't take anything away from the unpredictability of this race.
So let's see how the teams tackle the race at the Las Vegas Grand Prix.
Evening, Rick. You made it just in time for the race. So let's take a look at strategy. This is probably going to be the strategy to take. The 2-stop is slower than the 1-stop, but only by a couple of seconds, and there's a high likelihood of safety cars here, I think, given the nature of the circuit, so I still think that is the right strategy to be on. I'm not sure what the fuel burn is like on this circuit from memory. It's about 2 kilos a lap, so let's take 4 laps out. Whereas we normally go a little less aggressive off the start, this time we are going to go very aggressive off the start. And let's see how we do.
The city of Las Vegas is abuzz with excitement as our race draws ever closer. And here's George Russell settling in for the race.
They're on pole, and it's well deserved. I'm looking forward to seeing what they can do.
So let's see what today has in store, shall we? The atmosphere is electric here for the Las Vegas Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go.
All right, good start for George. Can we get Hamilton past Alonso into turn one? Not quite. Side by side.
Okay, let's go for it.
Understood.
Oh, side by side all the way through. But we have completed the move. Just about.
And just charge the pack.
Yep.
Let's start pushing them.
Copy.
Right, see if we can break away from Alonso. Going to be coming back at us. Yeah, I'm just trying to hold off a little bit of battery in reserve. Because the AI tends to drain their battery entirely in about 2 laps at the start. Not always, but most of the time. So if I can hold about a lap's worth of battery back against them, should theoretically put me in good stead. Right, almost broken the DRS. We might just about do this as the first DRS zone comes up.
DRS has been enabled. So it looks like P2 at the moment.
It's touch and go.
Just to reduce your speed.
Copy.
And we have now done it. So, up, Sainz muscling his way past Alonso in the background. Hamilton's going to make the move. And now we have our wingman.
so we are low on battery at the moment.
Even his own. I do now have a chance at the championship. Yeah, let's see. Max is currently P7. But, you know, we're only 21 points behind him. And there's still 2 races to go. So a really strong result here will make it very interesting in the final race. But it's not the be-all and end-all. We don't have to win it in this Grand Prix. Right. George is about to be vulnerable. Alonso's pushing again.
And happy to pick up the pushing level.
Just introduce a little bit of lift and coast.
I don't think we're going to be able to break away entirely from Alonso here, so as long as I can get Russell back into DRS and then get him to sit there. See Russell and Hamilton's tyres much better than the other softs who really have pushed hard. They're not using brand new softs as well by the look of it. Leclerc in 5th is the first of the medium runners. Max is on mediums right now. Perez down in 12th. Where's Stroll? Stroll's in 6th. And is all over the back of Leclerc. Tyres are going to overheat quite easily on this circuit, I think. Especially following in the slipstream.
Just work on getting that pack back up.
Got a couple of options here. We can try and keep Russell and Hamilton together like this, or we can set Russell to extreme defensive, get him to try and hold everybody back and let Russell just run off into the distance. I think that is not the right strategy on this circuit because it's quite wide down the strip. It's an insanely long DRS straight, and I think we would just leave him way too vulnerable to be overtaken, and then that would put a car between us and Lewis. So I think we'll try and keep them together like this. Seems the smarter play, I think. I'm going to have another crack at trying to break away again on the next lap.
Be careful with the car.
Yeah, coming. So you just stay online.
Let's just manage these tyres.
Coming.
So a few people saying that Max is too slow right now. Don't forget, Max is on mediums. And he's keeping pace to Leclerc. Only a couple of seconds off the back of him. He might be one-stopping as well. Don't have enough battery in Hamilton's car right now. I don't normally like to pause to issue commands like this, but there just isn't enough time to get everything else sort of handed over.
Charge the pack.
Copy.
Push and hold, overtake.
Copy.
Alright, so here we go with our breakaway attempt.
Use the overtake. Think about less lift and coast. And just charge the pack.
So far, so good. Evening, Nick. Who's leading the championship? Max by 21 points with 2 races to go, including this one. Hamilton in second.
We're just going to need to introduce a little bit of lift and coast.
You see the difference in tyre temps. Hamilton following in the slipstream really is pushing the temperatures up in those tyres. Well, we've got the breakaway done now. Just going to leave Lewis behind for one more lap. Let's get that battery maxed out. Then we'll swap them back over again. We'll let Hamilton set the pace and we'll get Russell recharging behind him. There we go.
If we could just drop back a bit.
Yeah, copy. So you can pick up the pace.
All right, we are good to relax for a little bit. We've got a gap now to Sainz and Alonso. Max in 7th. Let's take a look. He's doing 140.8. We are... I'm not sure where we are in terms of lap time yet because we've been kind of pushing and lifting and pushing and lifting. We'll have a look at the end of this lap. But it does look as though Verstappen is closing in onto the back of Leclerc and Stroll. Not surprising that he's closing on Stroll. I think Leclerc is just swapping positions back and forth with him. Alonso now past Sainz. So let's see as our drivers come up to the line. .140.9. Alonso 141.0. Max a 141.5. Do you lose a lot of time saving fuel? You lose a bit. But it depends, you know, it's balanced out by the fact that the car is lighter. You know, if you're going to do fuel saving, I find it's best to do several laps or not really do it at all. You know, it's not worth doing just 1, maybe 2 laps. It depends on the circuit. And also the conditions. It's much easier to save fuel in wet conditions. You save fuel so much faster, you know, when the track is wet compared to when it's dry, because the car isn't working as hard. it can't go as fast in the conditions, so you're not pushing the engine as much, which means you're not using as much fuel. So you do save a lot more fuel in wet races, especially when it gets to full wet conditions. You start saving fuel ridiculously quickly there.
It's not going to be long down there. Copy.
I think we're about fully charged. We'll see where we are across the line in terms of battery. There's a big old gap opened up. I'm just looking on the map there. Magnussen has got past Albon now, up to 8th place, but they're 9.5 seconds off the back of Max. And there's another gap of about 6 seconds to another train of cars headed by Piastri. And that is Zhou, Sargent, De Vries, Bottas, Norris and Hulkenberg. So we've got a couple of different little groups there. The front wheel is starting to spread out a bit. Stroll is back past Leclerc, but you can see there 5 seconds behind Sainz and Alonso. Albon back ahead of Magnussen, but they are dropping back quite substantially. Our tyres still in pretty good shape, all things considered. Things go according to plan. This could be a pretty straightforward race for us. How far ahead are we to Max? We're 11.5 seconds ahead of him. Now, if he is one stopping, obviously he's going to save a bunch of time against the pit stop. We're going to have better tyres for, large chunks of the race. It does look as though the one stop is going to be the preferred strategy for most of the grid. And it's about, 19 seconds on a pit stop? Doesn't look like you save a huge amount of time under a VSC either. I maxed out almost in DRS range of Stroll. It's probably going to get him this lap. Stroll's tyres really starting to struggle. All depends on Leclerc, I think. If he doesn't get him this lap, he'll probably get him next lap. Let's check in with Perez. Feels the need to go defensive a little bit from Gasly.
Okay, loose, so box.
In the box is that.
Magnussen vulnerable, he's dropped out of DRS range. There goes Yuki, lining up a move. Sweeps past him with ease there. Of course, now Yuki is going to be vulnerable to Magnussen, who'll have the DRS. Let's see, where are we going to come out?
And we'll push.
Yep.
So happy to push now.
Okay.
So we should come out ahead of Ocon. The boxing George this lap and Hamilton next lap. Good clean stop, 2.2 seconds. Sainz is in as well.
So let's just make sure we keep on top of those tyres.
So we are comfortably ahead of Ocon. Alright, we only lost, what, 17 seconds on that pit stop. That's not bad. That's not bad at all.
Just reduce your speed.
Come in. Yeah, we just need to make sure that we don't fall off a cliff on that tyre. Okay.
Let's see, is Alonso going to follow us in?
Loose.
No, he's not. Alonso stays out. Wonder if Alonso is one stopping. Sainz is one stopping. He went onto hard tyres. Another clean stop.
Warm-up is bad on this tyre. Just watch the white line on exit.
See what I mean about a really bad exit from the pits? That is something the AI is going to have to work on for next season.
Charge the pack.
Let's just manage these tyres.
Roger.
And Stroll and Leclerc fighting each other are staying ahead of Max and keeping him out of DRS range. This is really working for us. That was deliberate, Shane. You know, George is under instruction to hold position behind Lewis. Lewis is in with a chance of the championship. George is nowhere near. So George is definitely the number 2 driver today. I pushed him on his outlap to make sure that he stayed close to Lewis so that he could tuck back into DRS. Stroll boxes. Alonso stays out again, so Alonso's one stopping. Ocon's in as well. Looks like we might be the only team that's going to 2-stop this. So if we do end up getting a late safety car, we might see a scrabble of these hard tyre runners diving into the pits. Oh, an issue for Ocon.
The Alpine crew standing by.
Also one stopping, going onto the hards. And the problem with the jacks.
Oh, but they have trouble releasing the car.
Alright, Alonso's tyres are going to be struggling right now. 34%. And Max has finally caught the back of Leclerc. There he is in the background. And Alonso's in, and so is Leclerc. Hard tyres for both. Looks like a slightly slow stop for the Aston Martin there, maybe. It's going to come out behind Sainz. Oh, and Yuki manages to get himself up. And so does Perez. So, yeah, not great for Leclerc. A little bit of work to do. Alright, we are hunting down Max. Oops. And we're lapping over half a second faster. See if we know Max is one stopping.
Use the overtake.
Understood.
Starting to worry that we might not actually make it in terms of fuel here. It's going to be close. It's going to be very close. We're going to have to basically fuel save the entire race. I hope I haven't screwed this up. Safety car or a VSC would certainly make things a lot easier for us.
You are the fastest man on track.
We do need to make sure that Hamilton gets the fastest lap as well. We need to extract as many points as possible from this race. And let's see. Verstappen, if he boxes in the next lap or so, is going to come out behind Stroll and Leclerc, which is good. That's what we want. We want Max to be as far down the order as possible.
Charge that pack.
Understood.
I would imagine Max is going to go another couple of laps. Box probably around lap 24.
Push.
Understood.
Push and hold it, overtake.
Understood. Okay, let's go for it.
Yep.
Pull to one side in places, that will help.
Yep.
Made a bit of a mess of that.
Just do what you can. So Verstappen in the pit lane.
Max boxes.
And just have a think about getting the pack back up.
Overtake is available.
Yeah, copy.
So fresh hard tyres, and he gets out. Oh, that's really clunky there. That needs to be improved for the next release. He gets out behind Perez, which is what we thought, but he was a little bit closer than I was expecting him to be. That said, Perez yet to stop. I don't think Max will have DRS this lap, but he should get it next lap. He might get it this lap. I think he's on a push. Yeah.
If we could just drop back a bit.
Yeah, roger. Just need to make sure we keep these tyres in good nick.
Be careful with the car.
Yeah, agree.
All right, Yuki boxes. Perez is staying out. He's already been passed. See if he has a little pop at Max. If he takes Max out, that would be glorious. And he's out of range. So that was it. We might see Perez boxing this lap. Right, I think we might just about make it on the fuel saving. We were 8 kilos under fueled, plus we pushed at the start. We're at half distance now, and we've saved about 4 kilos. Well, just over 4 kilos. So yeah, we should just about make it with a few laps to spare. And now that Russell's battery is pretty much rebuilt, we are going to swap him in front again. Get him leading the way for Lewis.
Yeah, we just need to make sure that we don't fall off a cliff on that tyre. Need to look after the car.
Just cool the car.
Copy.
So we didn't get that done where I wanted to get it done, but we got it done.
Let's just work on getting that pack back up. Okay. And just charge the pack.
Am I going to let George win? No. I said earlier, George is number 2 in this race.
Charge the pack.
Simply swapping them over like this so that they can deploy their batteries on a stagger and keep building that gap. We've still got to make another stop. Everyone else is done. Everyone else is running hard to the end. we need about 18, 19 seconds to get out without losing position. But as long as we are close when we do make our stop, that's all that really matters. So we need to be ideally within about, with a 15-second lead, so that we can use the pace of our soft tyres to get past quickly and then break away again. If we can build up a gap bigger than 15 seconds, that would be perfect. The dream scenario is to box and rejoin still in first and second. And we are slowly building that gap. We're due to stop around about lap 35. So got another 7-8 laps to go after this before we box. Max in 7th. It's about 5 seconds off the back of Stroll right now. A little bit of a disparity on tyres though, so I would expect Max will start to close back up towards the end of the race.
Use the overtake. And let's push.
Just reduce your speed.
Okay, Alonso on a bit of a push right now. Sainz was pushing a little bit on that last lap as well, but Alonso on an absolute flyer.
Start reducing that management.
trying to keep them together. Proving a little bit trickier this time. Yeah, Alonso back down to his normal pace, a 1:39.7 there. He really did push if he did a 1:37. Nearly 2 seconds faster. Alright, we've got plenty of life left in these tyres, so let's up our tyre pace.
Pick up the pace.
A little bit.
Yep.
Don't have enough of a gap to be really comfortable yet. If we box now, we're going to come out behind Leclerc, I think. But we should get out in front of Max. Down to just 3 kilos left to save. Looks like we're going to be a bit more comfortable than I thought we were on fuel at the end. That's good. Wouldn't say no to a safety car right about now. Sort that fuel out, get the tyres on, and get out without really losing too much position. Might lose to Sainz, possibly Alonso, but we get out ahead of Stroll if we had a safety car now.
So we are low on battery at the moment.
Yep.
And there we go, Hamilton's battery is
Just
gone.
manage these tyres.
So just charge that pack.
Understood.
And happy to pick up the pushing level.
Yep. Make sure we keep these tyres in good nick.
Understood.
And now let's try and rebuild Lewis's battery.
So you can pick up the pace.
Understood.
Make sure we get him back in range. Getting very hands-on with our tactical swapping of our drivers here. It's the first time I've tried doing this to this extreme. Now, I've done it here and there in races, but never to this extent. Would have just let them fight in the old game, but confidence matters this time around, and Also, there is that risk of them, you know, just hitting each other, doing some damage, and destroying each other's confidence, which has a huge knock-on effect on their pace. So, yeah, being a bit more hands-on is not necessarily a bad thing this time around.
So happy to push now.
Copy. Yeah, we just need to make sure that we don't fall off a cliff on that tyre.
Alright, once again, I'm probably going to box Russell first. Got the gap up to 13 seconds. It's not quite as high as I would like, but another lap or two like this, and we should have enough of a gap to get out ahead of Leclerc and Stroll. Right, let's just really start pushing those
Okay,
tyres.
see what you got then.
Yeah, copy, all good.
Try and make sure that we can actually do that. Fastest lap from Perez. Where did that come from? I didn't even see what it was. What was it? A 1:37.7.
And we'll push. Okay.
Alright, yeah, we have now got enough of a gap to get out ahead of Leclerc. We're close to getting out ahead of Alonso.
Box.
Yes, box.
We've almost recharged Lewis's battery as well in the process. Excellent stuff.
So let's get after it.
New personal best middle sector for Lewis there. We're going to absolutely demolish the fastest lap.
So let's cool tyres down. And box.
Right, can we get a clean stop here? Yes, we can. 2.2. Not bad. Still need to work
So
on our
just
pit
bring
cruise
these in over
times
the
next
first couple
season.
of laps. Just keep an eye on your mirrors.
Going to be close for Sainz. It's going to be very close for Sainz. What is going on there? I have no idea, but we got out ahead of Sainz. Wow. Did not expect that.
And if we could just drop back a bit.
Copy.
Push and hold, overtake.
Copy.
We should be safe from sights here.
Okay, copy.
Ah, it's a slow stop.
Sorry about that. Warm-up will be challenging. All clear on exit.
The team at Mercedes are waiting.
What was the mistake?
They just can't get the front right on, though.
It didn't look like the front right on the replay. It looked like it was a different tyre.
So need to bring it in nice and steady. So remember, white line on exit.
Alright, let's break Russell away while Lewis is warming up his tyre. Ooh, engine noise isn't working properly. Am I challenging for the title this season? Yes. We are challenging for the Drivers' Championship, not the Constructors. Red Bull are too far ahead, but Lewis is currently 21 points behind Max in second place in the Drivers' Championship. Max in 6th place right now. Lewis is going to be scooting past Russell very soon to take and then hold first position.
Charge the pack.
Copy.
Alright, let's get through this DRS zone and then we're going to sprint Lewis.
Just keep the pressure on Lewis, you can do this. And we can drop the lift and coast for now, we'll pick it up later.
Yep.
Will the title go down to the final race? Yeah. I don't, unless something happens to Max in this race. It's going to go down to the final. Well, even if something happens to Max in this race, it's going to go down to the final race. So we're 21 points behind. There's 26 available for win and fastest lap in this Grand Prix, so we can take the lead. But Abu Dhabi is still going to decide the title.
Let's just work on getting that pack back up.
Yep.
And you are the fastest on track.
136.8. I want to go faster than that.
just
How many seasons am I doing with Mercedes? The plan is for 2, this season, next season, and then we'll look at moving to another team.
use the overtake.
I don't know which team yet. We'll wait and see what the grid's looking like at the end of season 2.
Okay, let's go for it.
Understood.
.136.7, a little bit quicker. That'll do.
And just charge the pack. Need to introduce a small amount of lift and coaster.
Just to reduce your speed.
Yeah, copy.
Alright, 11 laps to go. We are currently sitting relatively comfortably. Got a 4-second gap, but that gap should only get bigger. Max has caught the back of Leclerc. Need Leclerc to defend like crazy. Tyres are not in great shape. Max obviously stayed out long on that first set of mediums. But the longer he stays tucked up behind Leclerc, the more his tyres are going to heat up and overheat. And the quicker that grip advantage that he's got is going to disappear. But he's going to make the move straight away, look. He's going straight through into 5th. Alright, hopefully Leclerc can hassle and harry him for the remainder of the race. And I wouldn't be too displeased if the two of them had a little coming together. Am I going to use Mercedes again in the next game? I don't know. This game's only just come out. Let's give this one a year first. This game is what, a month old? It's got a lot of life left in it yet. I'm not even thinking about the next one yet. That's what I meant to do. There we go. Oh yeah, we are just storming away from Alonso and Sainz. Gap's up to 7.5 seconds now. We pulled out 3 seconds in 2 laps. We got 2 seconds on the last lap alone. So our work is kind of done. It's all down to Leclerc now to try and hold back Max, take some more points off him if at all possible. What's happened to Stroll? How's he dropped off so far? Doing 140.3s.
Yeah, we just need to make sure that we don't fall off a cliff on that tyre.
Understood.
And avoid all curbs. Avoid all curbs. Okay.
I'm going to tell our drivers to really look after the car now for the remaining 8 laps. Got a comfortable lead, so it's all about reducing wear and tear on components and stress on the engine. There goes Max again. Worst case scenario is that the two of them swapping positions like this actually brings them onto the back of Sainz and Alonso, and then with his pressure tyres, there's every chance Max might actually then move up to 4th or even 3rd. That would be a disaster for us if Max gets on the podium. But the two of them are just tearing away from Stroll. He's losing a lot of time at the moment, so it's unlikely Max is going to drop further back than 6th. And even with our tyres in full conserve, our fuel in conserve, and our cars avoiding high risk curves, we are still gapping Sainz. And Leclerc and Verstappen are closing. Taking half a second out of them. Ah, this worries me. This worries me. There they are. And hopefully, as long as Leclerc can get on the back of them in 5th place, he will then be able to defend against Verstappen by having Alonso's DRS or Sainz's DRS. Those two can swap places as much as they want. I don't care about those two. As long as they stay ahead of Max. And ideally we want Leclerc to stay ahead as well. Max is on for, I think, 8 points as things currently stand. We're on for 26. That'll close the gap up significantly, but we'll still be going in with a points deficit. But the smaller the deficit, the the easier it'll be in terms of outscoring Max in the next one. There's the tyres. Max had a bigger advantage on his tyres than that, I think. So he has definitely lost a little bit of his advantage thanks to being stuck following and fighting. But he does still have the best tyres out of that little chasing group.
Only 5 laps.
It's nip and tuck between these two. I think Alonso is probably going to beat Sainz for the podium. In fact, I think Alonso is trying to sprint. See, what did he do last lap? He did a 1:39.9 last lap.
How many more laps?
And 4 laps remain.
So why don't I do the last race tonight? Because of time. These streams for a single race are about 3 hours. And it is 11:30 at night here. And it's not so much an issue for me, but it's the noise that I'm going to generate. Winning the World Championship at 3 in the morning, you know, for my housemates. We'll do the next race tomorrow, final race of the season tomorrow, and then we'll have a couple of days off before we start season 2. I just realised we pulled out enough to get out ahead of Alonso if we needed to make another stop, which we don't. It's been a lot more comfortable than I thought it was going to be, this Grand Prix, and we are fuel positive, which is the important thing I was just about to check anyway. So 8 laps or 8 kilos of fuel, 4 laps of fuel. Had to work hard to get it under control, but we did it. And we've been really comfortable in this race. Really comfortable. A lot more than I thought we were going to be. I knew we would have a pace advantage in the final stint, but I didn't think it would be this significant for us to continue to gap Sainz and Alonso like this on the lowest pace setting. You won't be able to see the streams because you'll be going back to school. Well, the streams will be available on the channel as replays. You know, as soon as the video, well, as soon as the stream ends, the video processes and then just stays up on the channel. So if you can't watch them live, you'll always be able to watch the replays. All right. 2 and a bit laps to go. Come on, Charles. Back in front of Max.
2 laps remaining.
Yep.
Good man. Wow, everyone else's tyres are dead. Sainz is really going to struggle. Now his tyres are below 30%. Sainz could get a puncture before this Grand Prix finishes. It's unlikely, but it's possible. Once tyres hit 30%, once below that, they are susceptible for punctures. And the closer they get to 0, the higher the chance of that happening. Start the final lap. Charles gets ahead of Max, closes the door on him. He's just got to hold him back for another lap now. And Max is pushing. This is going to give Charles the DRS on this back straight. But he needs to be in a position where he's got the DRS on the strip. And all of a sudden, Max is within just 2 seconds of the cars in front. Another lap and he would be on them. Is there going to be a twist in the tail? Is he actually going to be able to catch and pass Alonso or Sainz here? I think Sainz is going to be vulnerable, very vulnerable to Alonso on this back straight on the strip here. Is Leclerc close enough? I don't know if he is. Come on, Charles. Alonso is going for the move. I don't think he's going to get it.
Absolutely. Just first class.
Charles not going to get it either. Ah!
So you've taken it.
And at the end of that final lap, Hamilton has secured the win.
I don't think anyone could be disappointed with a race like that. A consummate professional through and through.
I know someone who could be disappointed with that. So he's been very quiet for the last hour and a half.
Checkered flag is out.
Max is going to hold on and take 5th. Damn it. Sainz holds on as well. I did not see that coming. So that'll be 12 points for... 10 points for Max. Gap will be just 5 going into the next Grand Prix. how many races are left? One more. Abu Dhabi. It's the final race of the season. That's tomorrow night. And we are just 5 points behind Max, with more race victories, I believe. So all we have to do is tie up the score, assuming he doesn't win. Actually, if Max wins, we can't tie up the score. If Max wins, he wins the World Championship. There's no way we can overhaul that, obviously. If Lewis wins, he wins the World Championship, regardless of what happens to George. Other than that, he just needs to finish 5 points ahead of Max. There is my What Happens in Vegas trophy.
Drive from Lewis Hamilton.
Incredible. That was a really well-deserved win. They got their race strategy absolutely spot on.
Well, they've been waiting for this, haven't they? And it's only right that they make the most of it. The highly decorated record breaker from Stevenage once again taking to the podium.
There's further delight for the team as they get to see both drivers up there together.
And there's not much that rivals the Las Vegas Grand Prix when it comes to the podium presentation.
Yeah, because that podium celebration is so different to every other one. Am I going to upgrade the car on the last race? No, I've got no money left.
As proceedings start to wind down here, what will Mercedes have made of this result, Karun?
I doubt they could be much happier. A win and a podium place. What a great way to round out the weekend.
Well, everyone, that's all from us here in Las Vegas.
Formula One has almost reached its conclusion this year. Meet us next time in Abu Dhabi, between the desert and the sea, for an enthralling finale.
Well, there we go, confirmation of the final result, and it turned out to be an incredibly comfortable race for us in the end. We finished nearly 25 seconds ahead of Sainz in third, and that was spending the vast majority of that final stint in the lowest pace setting and avoiding the curbs to really protect the components in the engine and the car. So yeah, very comfortable indeed. Could have really taken it a bit easier earlier in the race. We just about managed to make the fuel saving work. I thought for a moment at one point that we'd probably overdone it a little bit, but in the end we did manage to finish fuel positive with about half a lap or so, I would say. That's not too bad. Carlos gets the third spot on the podium, up one place. Alonso, disappointing for him, dropping 2. Max, unfortunately, did manage to get ahead of Charles and hold that position for the final lap, so he gets those extra 2 points. Bit of a shame. What happened to Stroll in the end? He was up there and then just dropped way off towards the end in that last stint. Gasly, what a comeback from him, up 10 places, get himself in the points. And Yuki Tsunoda gets a point for AlphaTauri. I never even clocked that, which drops Perez out of the points. So another bad day for Red Bull. It's just a shame that we are as far back as we are. Otherwise we might possibly be able to challenge them for the Constructors as well. Let's have a look further down. A good race for Bottas, up 6 places, but still nowhere near the points. Let's take a look at the Drivers' Championship. Now you see, we closed the gap by 16 points. We are just 5 points behind going into the season finale at Abu Dhabi. Max has 7 wins and a sprint win. We have 7 wins and 3 sprint wins, but I don't think the sprint wins count for countback. So in that case, we actually have to outscore Max by 6 points. I think if it stays tied, there's every chance that Max will win on countback, having achieved his 7 race wins before we got our 7 race wins. Despite the fact that we've just had 7 wins on the trot, I do think that Max would still win. So we have to outscore him by 6, which means if we finish second and get the fastest lap, that's 19 points. We would need Max to come in 4th. If he comes in 3rd, we lose It's going to be a very, very interesting final race. In there is the Constructors' Championship, just 10 points for Red Bull, and we gained the maximum 44, closed the gap to 100 points. Yeah, like I said, if we'd had a couple more races in the season, who knows? Maybe the way things have been going for us, we could possibly have challenged Red Bull. I'm confident about our ability to challenge next season, as long as we haven't screwed up car research too badly. We should be good. We've done a fair bit of research. Unfortunately, we are out of cost cap, so we can't do any more. We've extended our gap over Ferrari as well, so we are now secure in second place. We have achieved our season objective. Ferrari are 84 points behind with only 44 available in the next race, so we have locked off second place in the Constructors. That objective is done. That is fantastic, because I really wasn't sure we'd be able to do that earlier in the season. We were struggling to keep pace with Ferrari and Aston Martin at one point. But our upgrades throughout the season have really helped us, and I'd say we're in such a rich vein of form right now that that has become quite comfortable for us. Decent points for Aston Martin. They are still a long way off both Ferrari and Alpine, so they're locked in 5th. Ferrari are locked in 3rd. Aston are locked in 4th. Alpine locked into 5th. Haas mathematically could get beaten, but they're not going to. They're not going to get beaten by McLaren or Williams or AlphaTauri, and certainly not by Alfa Romeo in the final race. So it looks as though that is Haas confirmed there. I would say McLaren are probably confirmed there. This is a bit closer. That's a little bit tougher to tell. I think Alfa Romeo are probably going to stay 10th. AlphaTauri have potentially got the opportunity to maybe jump ahead of Williams. That's going to be an interesting little fight. We'll have to keep an eye on that throughout the race tomorrow as well. Let's take a look at pit stop times. We get both our drivers on the board just in 9th and 10th. AlphaTauri score more points than us again. Their pit stops are a little bit quicker than ours, so we are not going to overhaul them in the pit stop challenge, it would seem. Once again, Red Bull just mighty quick. 1st and 2nd. Then Ferrari, McLaren, Ferrari. No Aston Martin up there. No Alpine up there. Let's see what that does for the standings. It's close, very close between McLaren and Ferrari. 12 points apart. Just 1 point difference earned in this Grand Prix. Alpine, nowhere on their pit stops today, has seen them drop to 4th and potentially out of the running for second place. In fact, I would say almost certainly out of the running for second place. They might even not be able to catch Ferrari now. AlphaTauri extend their gap to us to 48 points, so we can't overhaul them. We are stuck in 6th place. I don't think Aston Martin are going to catch us. Their pit stops have not been great in the closing stages of the Grand Prix. So it looks as though it's going to be just a straight fight between McLaren and Ferrari, and that's going to be the only real fight of any real consequence in the pit stop challenge. There we see a summary of the pit times. So we had that little problem for Lewis there, a sticky wheel nut on his second stop, but didn't affect our race in any way. Let's have a look at our driver summary. 2 successful overtakes, 1 failed overtake for George, 3 successful defences, 2 failed. And for Lewis, similar numbers, 4 successful overtakes, 5 failed, 6 successful defences, 1 failed. Not having to do too much work. They were very comfortable, especially in that final stint. No points for Mick. I don't think Mick's going to get another outing this season, so I think that's it for him. We did achieve our sponsor goals, paid out our driver bonuses, so we add another 4 million into the bank. But while it's always nice to have a bit of extra cash, we can't really do anything with it because we are so close to the cost cap. And with the new glitch in terms of showing what the cost cap values are since the patch, the 1.6 patch, we just don't know exactly how much we got left, but it is in the hundreds of thousands rather than the millions. I'm pretty sure of that. It might not even be that much. It might be in the tens of thousands. We are right up against that limit for the rest of the season. Let's have a look at car inspection. Front wing failed. Okay. So, we might have to take a front wing off George. Let's have a look. Can we just replace that part? Yes, we can just. So we had a spare front wing. Okay, that's good. We need George to be as competitive as possible in the final race to, again, sit between Lewis and Max. Let's take a look at our scouting reports. We've got Matt Harmon and Tariq Basara. Mauro Ferrara and Diana Romano. So let's have a look at these profiles. So Diana has an insanely good 91 stat somewhere. Oh, it's 92 now. Front wing, 92. Very good on the side pods. Very good on the rear wing. A couple of really dodgy stats. The underfloor in particular is not great. But as a 32-year-old new-gen staff member, certainly one that is worth considering for another team when we do move at the end of next season. Let's take a look at the other reports. So we've just got results on Matt Harmon. Who actually looks a little bit worse this year than he did last year, I think. I think he was a little bit stronger last year when he was at Aston Martin. Tariq is the highest rated new gen. Oh, he's got a 90 chassis. Ooh. And his lowest stat is a 70. Okay, so he is definitely a contender for when we move to a new team. Let's have a look at Mauro. Mauro has a little bit more balance to his stats. Nothing screamingly high. Front wing 87 is pretty strong. He's got a 64 suspension, but everything else is in the mid-70s. So there's a little bit more balance to Mauro. Mauro, again, another strong contender for a replacement staff member if we do, when we do move to a new team, depending on who we go to. And we've already looked at Diana. So that was our 4 stats there that we had a look at. Let's do some driver scouting. So let's have a look at Max, just so we can see his stats and his contract value. We'll do the same with Checo. We'll do Charles. And let's take a look at Fernando, so that we can see what his stats are and then see if they go down as the season progresses next year. Right, we are 9 days away from our CFD simulator upgrade and 25 days away from our suspension simulator upgrade. We've got 16 million in the bank. I mean, theoretically, we could maybe drop an upgrade on something, but I think more than likely we're going to be using that money to refurb our buildings. You can see our design centre is close to needing a refurb. Wind tunnel's not too far behind it. Same with the car park test centre. Team hub's okay for now. Race simulator's okay for now. Operationally, our weather centre is now at 80%. We're not going to do anything with the weather centre until we reach Bahrain, because we're not going to need a weather report for Bahrain, and we probably won't need it for Jeddah either. So we're not going to touch the weather centre until around the beginning of next season's calendar, around March next year, and then we can look at either just doing a straight refurb or an upgrade depending on how much spare cash we've got, and get that up to the next level. Memorabilia room, again, we don't really need that. Morale's not going to be an issue now until the beginning of the season itself next year. We don't need to worry about team attractiveness because we've already signed all of our staff and contracts, got all of that locked up for next year. So again, we won't refurb that till the season starts next season. Let's check in with the boards. So they are Still delighted with performance, as they damn well should be. Objectives, we have achieved our season objective now. We are mathematically locked into second place. Still disappointed on the finances. That's not going to change, unfortunately, until August and July drop off that monthly breakdown sheet. But shouldn't affect us too badly. What has that done to our manager rating? Absolutely nothing. It's still 689. So we'll just have to keep an eye on that, see if that changes once the season itself finishes. Right. 4 days until Abu Dhabi. Very little for us to do. Let's advance some time. And there is the race prep. So as you can see, at the moment, Red Bull leading the pack in the Constructors by 100 points. They are Constructors champions for 2023. Max Verstappen in top position of the Drivers' Championship by just 5 points. It's nice and close. It's going to be a hell of a race tomorrow. Can we reverse the fate of the 2021 championship that was decided at Abu Dhabi in contentious circumstances and get Lewis that 8th World Championship at Max's expense? That will be our task for tomorrow. So do join me at the same time of 9 o'clock. It might be a little bit of a long stream compared to normal. We will have a little bit of overrun at the end because we will be going up to the end of the calendar year. So we'll be dealing with our end of season review, and then the final month, getting to December 31st, taking a look at who's in and out of contract, and then we will call it a day there. And then that will be the end of F1 Manager 23 for a few days, and then we will look to start a new season Monday or Tuesday. I'm going to do some City Skylines on Friday, and we'll see how I'm feeling about starting on Monday with a new season. I might do some more City Skylines on Monday as well, but we'll make that decision tomorrow night. Friday night. So yeah, that's it from me. Thanks for watching. I am Jim Bob. I'll be back tomorrow, as I say, 9 p.m. UK time for the final race of our 2023 season. Can we win the World Championship? Please do join me for that. Until then, I am Jim Bob, and I'll be back with some more F1 Manager very soon.